With the Sidemores pretty much done with their fun, and the surprise fun of helping Rhonda and Freddy getting their classes finished, I return my attention to the problem of Hullbreak Harbour. I'm still trying to get more info and set up a few safeguards, but I think I'm getting close to needing to make a move. I think. Maybe. I was never terrible at strategy games, but I also would tend to just turtle up until I had enough troops to steamroll. But steamrolling Hullbreak is pretty much the last thing I want to do. I think it can be theoretically reasoned with if its dwellers are safe. If they get hurt though, I think it'll get ugly all around. I just need to make sure I strike the right balance between preparing and not giving Hullbreak the time to prepare too much on his side. From the reports from Leo, I think he's going to try to strike the beachhead soon. I just wish I knew how soon is. He started sending out expeditions, so he's sure to find the beachhead eventually. So now I need to make sure I have some contingencies for if he attacks. I would say when, but there's no guarantee. He could find the beachhead and try to negotiate. I mean, I wouldn't put money on it, but it could happen. Anyway, contingencies. First is who can I actually try to bring in to fight? Pretty much all my denizens that could work under the water are already doing stuff. The skeletons are doing their thing. The slimes and rock slides are being sneaky. Despite Queen's best efforts, I don't think she's going to manage a water affinity potion before this fight pops off, so I need to plan with what I have. While Rocky should be a good plan A for dealing with an attack, I need to have a solid plan B in case the attack is too much for him to overcome. In which case, I think the subtle route will have to be tossed out the window. At least that will let me bring in some of my other scions. Not the best silver lining, but if I have to take the kid gloves off, it'll be time to lay down the law. Jello will probably be very good under the water. While she still won't be very fast, the little bit of water testing we did a while ago showed she's not much slower in the water either, so she'll be at her full strength. Probably even stronger, actually, considering how she practically vanishes when submerged. Grim has a lot of potential, but I get the feeling he won't want to go on the offensive. He'd be an absolute nightmare on a battlefield, but that's just not his temperament. I might be able to get him to defend the beachhead while the others attack, but I'm inclined to not even try to push him for this. Besides, after seeing him stop that Sidemore like flipping a switch, I worry it could send the wrong message if he starts just ending whatever Hullbreak sends at him. Gotta roll destructive potential carefully if you don't want to have to keep using it. Slash will probably do well under the water, but his involvement will depend on if we can get the axe finished in time. With the hurdle of actually making the sound finally cleared, we're basically just down to actually producing it now. The Ratkin and Spiderkin have settled on a good alloy for the head, and while it's not going to be the shiny stainless steel that I think would be perfect, it's going to be a proper weapons quality steel, so I can't really complain. I don't even know if stainless steel would be good for an axe. Pretty sure it's what scalpels are made of, but there's a big difference between that and an axe. Besides, I still haven't managed to make stainless steel anyway. The Enclaves are now able to work on the top hat now too, with the Iranian more than happy to weave the hat itself, and the Ratkin working with Thing to get the magical Tesla amplifiers installed. Slasher's been by to look at the work, but he's been staying out of it for the most part. He knows how to make music, not how to make an electric guitar. He does actually know how to make music too. He finally got the title of Bard from playing on the lute, and I still don't know how he got. He's plucked out a few bars from a couple of songs he must have overheard through the bond with me, but he hasn't tried to string them into a true song yet. I think it's because they're not designed for a lute, but there's also other songs he's picked up from the Delvers, and even some of the dwellers in the Enclaves. Let me see. What other scions might be able to fight? Well, Poe can kind of fight, which is to say he can definitely fight, but not too much under the water. He could do with the gold spawner, but I don't think it's going to actually make much difference for what's happening under the waves. Fluffles might be able to, but unless he pulls a water affinity out of his serpentine behind, he's going to have trouble moving well. Which really only means I could bring Jello and maybe Slash to the party. The biggest problem with them being my emergency plan is that none of them is especially quick. It's about half a day's walk to the beachhead from home. It's not a big deal for the skeletons since they can just walk and don't have to be there in any real hurry. But if I need an emergency response, I need to get there in minutes, preferably seconds, not hours. I do have an idea for that though. Hey, Timo? You busy? My voice is currently lounging on Yvonne's lap in the sanctum. My lovely burb taking a chance to relax after having spent much of the last few days on paperwork. Taxes and inspections and such for the guild, as she explained it. Aranya is just glad she doesn't actually have anything new to report, seeing as she's only just registered as an adventurer recently. I can see Timo's ears twitch when I talk to him, and I can practically see him weighing if he wants to respond. I'm pretty sure he can sense my amusement at him shirking his duty, because he soon sighs and speaks up. "Nah, I'm not busy, boss. Kinda deliberately not busy even," he says, and Yvonne smirks at his snark. "Thedium needs something?" "Yeah. I'd like you to make a new shortcut, please. I'm sure you could hear me plotting and thinking, and I want to be able to respond quickly if Holbrook attacks the beachhead." Timo wrinkles his nose. "I thought you didn't want a shortcut from inside to outside." "I don't, but I have an idea for where to put it. Inside the tree line, past the cemetery wall for one end, and inside the tree line near the shore for the other end. You should be able to hide the entrances with more mundane means, and even if Holbrook somehow finds it, we'll already know everything about it. If he tries to use it to counterattack, ambushing his forces will be a cakewalk." Timo thinks on that for a few seconds, as Yvonne rubs his head, and he soon nods. "That should work, boss. How big do you need it?" "I just need enough for Jello and Slash. If you can make it fit an army, that'd be nice, but I really only need it to be able to handle them. It'll be a last resort to use, since it'll give away that I'm not Never Rest. But I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it." "Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem then." "What are you going to be doing?" asks Yvonne, sitting up a bit more so she can focus better. "The boss wants an emergency shortcut through the woods to the beachhead, in case Holbrook attacks there." Yvonne's eyes light up. "Ah, I had forgotten you were making moves against the water dungeon. Is there anything we can do to help?" Timo shrugs. "I mean, I wouldn't mind some company outside. Ragnar and Alara can see what we're up to, right, boss?" "Yeah, that should be fine." "Boss says you can all take a look. He's clever and he talks like he's vaguely familiar with stuff like this. But your party has more experience with fighting and such. An extra perspective would be nice to have on everything. Think they'll be up for it?" The Hawkwoman nods at that. "Ragnar would love to give his advice on larger scale battles. I don't know if he was ever involved in any himself, but he at least has a lot of historical knowledge of dwarven battles. If nothing else, I'm sure he'll have advice for defending the beachhead." "Cool. Is tomorrow fine for working on that?" I tell him that's fine, and Yvonne says that should be enough time for her to let the group know. They'll ask if Aranya wants to come once she gets back from chatting with Lux and Vernu. I wonder if Alarm might want to take a look also. I'll let Timo know to check with her sometime too. No rush though. He smiles and relaxes back into Yvonne's lap, enjoying her company. From her smile as she resumes idly petting him as she reads, she's enjoying his company too.